All right, Instagram, we are right back. If you were just tuned in and seeing my conversation with Kitch, then welcome back. If you are just hopping in now, and if you are completely new to what this is and have no idea what this is whatsoever, this is Sip on This. Welcome. It's my live stream talk show. Cool people, positive conversations. Hopefully gonna be able to get some cool conversation going that's maybe going to help you kind of just see some positive silver lining with everything going on right now. Just had my buddy Kitch on. We're about to have my other buddy Ceebz. He is joining in now. And we're going live with Ceebz. Connecting. Here we go.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, baby. Here it is.
What's happening?
What's up, dude? How are you doing, man?
Cheers.
Cheers to you, dude. What are you sipping on right now?
I got a nice bottle of Patron Silver.
I pegged you for a tequila guy. Yeah. It doesn't surprise.
Why is that?
I don't know, dude. Something that the Florida living and just that's it. That's all I really got.
It's the best. It wakes you up and makes you feel good.
I respect that, man. I don't know if you were on for the last one where I was talking. So I've got like Sequence right here, Dogfish Head, which is like literally ocean in a can. Yeah. And the move is you take like a big sip out of it when you're first doing it, line the thing with salt, then pour a tequila shot in. It's like a margarita in a can. Like poor man's margarita.
I could get behind that. I'm all about it.
Dude, I feel like you'd be into it. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, we got a decent amount of people here right now. I think. At least, I don't know. If you're still here watching, what's up? Hope you're.
It looks like a couple million at this point.
I think so. Yeah.
It's #1 trending video online. Oh,
damn. Well, dude, thanks for hopping on, man. You're the second video warrior. You were supposed to be the first, but Nick nudged you out, man.
I gotta beat him for the #1 spot.
I think so. We'll figure something else out to start up, and we'll do yours and then close it out.
For sure.
So, dude, what's up? I haven't seen you since Hawaii. How's life treating you, and how are you handling lockdown right now?
So, life's, you know, I think it's good. Like, there's a lot of worse things that could be going on for, you know, like, I still am able to wake up every day and fight the good fight. And, you know, things could be worse. We could have hurricanes coming, you know, we could lose the internet, you know, and then we're in a really completely different situation. So I try to always look at the positive light and side of things. And that's kind of how I've approached this situation. The last couple of weeks, man, I've just been kind of tunnel vision, blocking out the noise. I think it's just really bad for your brain right now. You don't know who to listen to, who to believe. Even just going on social, it's just like, I don't know, it just gets old and tiring. I would rather just like focus on what I know needs to be done. And I'm kind of treating this as an 18-month thing. Everyone's really looking forward to stuff opening and getting going again, but I still think there's a lot we don't know. Even finding out, you know, people that are positive or have had it but haven't had the symptoms and are, you know, just all of that. So I'm treating it, and I'm telling my clients to treat this the same way, as like, think about this in the 18-month scheme of things. Maybe it settles down over summer, but what happens if it comes back hard in winter? Let's figure out what we can be doing over the summer to put the things in place, knowing we're going to have to bear another 6 months of potentially being like this, you know? Yeah. So that's really where my whole mindset is really wrapped around. And then just like, I'm trying just to help people. You know, I've been fortunate enough the last 4 years, I've spent nothing but figuring out how to build a brand digitally and how to be essentially a more like effective human. Like, I don't know how others are handling this right now, because like I've had 4 years of practice of like routines and, oh, what up, dude?
What up, Savage?
Yeah, routines and other things that like I've put in place, and still it's hard to stick to, you know? And the last 2 days, I just started to like, I couldn't even think about what to do, because I was just like, I don't know, I just hit this spot, and I like recentered, refocused. And this morning just like went back to my routines that I started skipping, and it just completely changed the day. So,
I can imagine, dude.
Yeah, dude. Interesting times.
That's how I've been describing it. Is I'm just like, we are in like, who knows what this is right now. Just kind of navigating through and trying to make the most of it. But I mean, that you raised an interesting point. To real quick give any context to anybody that's seeing this either live or on the replay, Ceebz is a video business owner, kicks ass. We're in the same business group that I mentioned, that like we went to Hawaii and everything and all that stuff. And you are just, to give anyone context, a lot of the stuff that you kick ass doing is like travel and tourism based. So we'll dive into that in a second, but I wanted to kind of retouch on what you said about like the 18-month thing. And I think a lot of people can view that as like, oh my God, that's so negative. That really sucks. But the way like I'm trying to spin it in a positive way, where it's like we have the opportunity to prepare for that if that is the case. Because we're kind of like, if you can look at it in that this is like a testing round right now to be like, all right, what's going to work? How can I take stuff like more digitally right now? Yeah. You know, how can I navigate this? Because you can only anticipate that it's either going to go longer or something like it's going to happen again. Then now's the time to hop on it. So that's a good, interesting perspective to take on it, man.
Here's the other take that I have, and I've noticed this theme across a lot of people I've spoken with, clients, friends, whatever. Everyone's looking for a silver bullet. Like, what's the one thing I can do for all this it doesn't exist. Like, what's going to work is the same practices and routines and everything else that is like, you don't need to think of the next thing. And I know a lot of people are starting businesses right now, right? So when I started my business, my thought was like, I need to have the best, greatest new tech idea in order to scale $1 billion company and be a unicorn and like do all this stuff. And so the first company I started was a virtual reality company. And it's like, this is how I got into filmmaking full time. But I started this company, and this was like right when VR was kicking off. There was all this hype around it. Everyone was trying to figure out that magic thing to do. And after one, I knew nothing about VR. So don't start a business where you know nothing about. And then the second like epiphany I had was when I actually started to get paid with video. Is like, dude, you can start a cleaning business today. You can start a meal delivery service today. Like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to start something that people find value in and do it better.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth, man.
Right, just do it well. There's so many people out there that will clean houses, but they won't do it well, or they won't trust them or whatnot. People have built $1 million companies just cleaning houses. Like, and this is like within the last couple of years. I'm not talking back in the 80s they started and now they're a millionaire. Like, literally started 3 years ago and now they have $1 million in their bank account because they've scaled outward. So like, now is the time, and this is what gets me most fired up. There's going to be so much opportunity opening up in unfathomable ways. Like, you can't, even today I thought about like as a single dude, I'm like, all right, the dating world is weird now. It's like, how can you invent like contactless dating? It takes away the purpose, but like just starting to think about like funny dating ideas, because it's like people are afraid to go meet with someone, and if this continues, it's like, so how can you put us both in a bubble?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, dude, it's like, but that's what I mean. There's gonna be so many different things popping up, and just different, like, you know, people have time now to get more creative. People have time now to invent. Like, I started finally building courses. For 4 years, I've been like, it's been here in my head. And finally I'm like, all right, now's the time. Because
what better time than now?
Exactly. So it's the time to like do those things. And if you don't want to do shit, like, don't do shit. Like, it's up to you. Like, I don't know how you're not doing anything and like not going insane right now,
dude.
Because
I was just saying, we're like, on at least in my area, this is like day 40, I think. Yeah. If I had 40 days of just doing, like, I have lazy days. I'm sure everybody has through this. But if I can only imagine, like, if every day were like that, Jesus, like, I don't know how some people are like managing that. It feels like a lot of effort to just do absolutely nothing.
I tried yesterday to just like fuck off and do nothing, and I lost my mind after 5 minutes. I like picked up the phone, called someone, And then I walked a mile in my place, just pacing back and forth. And I'm like, all right, I'll go back to work. Because it was just like, dude, I don't know. Like, luckily I have an unlimited list of things I want to get done and work on.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, I'm just trying to figure out the shifts, and I don't know, dude. It's almost better just to settle in than constantly be trying to just like figure it out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. We got Farrad here. What up, Farrad? Hope you're doing well, dude.
What up, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like, well, I kind of want to shift from what you just said into kind of what I mentioned before about how like a lot of the stuff that you do, or at least I know what you enjoy most, is that like travel tourism type of project work. So I know you've got like a million things that you're doing right now. You've got that list of stuff that you're working on. But how has that kind of shifted for you? Because I mean, you live in like a picturesque world down there in sunny, or not Orlando, Florida, what, Fort Lauderdale or something like that?
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
Sunny Florida, but even still, it's like you're kind of limited in being able to go out and get that other type of stuff. So how are you kind of managing that?
So my thoughts are all revolving around travel will not die forever. People have money. They want to get out there. Who's going to be the ones that are able to do it? It's people who have money. Maybe they start flying private now because they're too afraid to fly commercial. But luxury travel is not going to cease and desist. It will always be there. These people are being confined right now and saying this is BS. Like, why? So that's one thing. I'm thinking about where are secluded luxury places that people still would be surrounded by a ton of people. And now they're going to need to get their content. Here's the other thing. Every single hotel is changing. They're redoing stuff. They're putting in new lines in the floor. Their cruise lines are putting in robots. You know, like none of this old marketing material is going to work moving forward.
They got a lot of updated stuff that they need to show off.
A lot of people are going to really need to reinvent their marketing message and not know how to do it. So a cruise line can no longer show a packed dining hall with 1,000 people in it. They need to show their tables are further apart. They don't have people serving the food, you know, whatever it is, they need to show all that. So that's where my mind is going, is like, once again, like travel's dead, right? You could just completely pivot, go to businesses, local and whatnot. I'm like, what I'm working on now directly ties into what I'm trying to do with that. But that's on pause at the moment. But everything I'm putting in the back end for clients at home is only stuff I'm going to be able to bring them. And then it's just like the same thing. You just go full force with it, because they're going to need people that people are going to need people that know how to market. They're going to need people that know how to film. They're going to need people that know how to tell the story. Like, people are going to need people that are good at what they do.
Which at this exact moment, it kind of is, but the people who are like the part of it that's going to come out the other side first is that like upper level, like upper echelon of people who can just afford to throw money at the more secluded private experiences. So it's like, why not go for that? I mean,
right.
You've got the quality and experience to like hunt those people down and make it work. But I think that applies to a lot of different stuff, where it's like, now's the time that industry may seem like it's stopping, but there's still that top tier that's like scraping past, and they're going to be the ones that are going to keep that momentum going afterwards. So like, try and shoot for those people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just reverse engineering. You know, you think about what you want to do and where you can add value. And then, like, this is how I started this whole thing. Like, in the beginning, I'll even show you. So this is like my vision board here, that when I put it together, you know, you see a lot of travel stuff. Make the world your office, travel like a pro. You know, all that stuff was on the top of my mind when I was getting started. What happened was, and the reason like VR, and even before VR, I was actually learning to code, because I knew I wanted to travel and I wanted to just be able to work from anywhere. My goal was to build a location independent business. Video obviously isn't location independent. I could hire people, sure, but for the most part, you want to be there on these bigger productions. So since I've gotten started, you know, and I think a lot of young entrepreneurs jump into something, they're like, well, I don't want to do weddings and corporate video and this. I want to do luxury villas in the Maldives. And it's like, well, no shit.
Yeah. Everybody else in the world does. Yeah, they think they do. Yeah.
Right. But to get there, it takes a long time to build that, right? So just as I went, I've just been shooting and editing and filming. And like every time I travel, even if it's not for a job, I'm still filming. I'm still posting content. I've done a ton of work to position myself in that spot, to now people are asking me to be on panels for travel stuff. They're asking me to help.
Good feeling, I bet.
Right. But it took 4 years, man. 4 years of like nonstop work, nonstop action. Even like the Ceebz brand has been my side hustle for 4 years. Where DNC Media is my core business. I focus on that Monday through Friday. But my travel content, and this is why when someone looks at my feed, it looks like I don't have a home because it's all just like travel stuff. But I don't focus on any of that stuff during the week. Yesterday for Earth Day, I spent like 2 hours editing a quick video, but it's all that stuff, the Maldives footage, this Hawaii video, that's always nights or weekends, mainly weekends, where I'm just like, all right, this weekend, I'm going to lock myself in the room, and for 40 hours, I'm going to finish this video. And that's what a lot of people aren't willing to do to get to where they want. But like when you reverse engineer and this is why everyone always says, you know, follow your passion, you'll never work a day in your life, right? I think that's the biggest bullshit because like you work a lot and people are like, oh, dude, passive income, I just follow my passion, you know, I just make money and like chill. And it's like, dude, to get to that point, it takes a lot. And where passion comes in is where, like right now, you don't want to do anything. You don't feel like working because you don't see the point, right? I could say travel's dead. No one's hiring marketing. They don't have any money. Everything's going under, you know, like you could look at it that way. Or when you shift it, it's like, it just completely changes.
Yeah. Dude, I think people think that say that, like, do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I think people kind of do that, like look at that from a short-minded type of perspective where it's like, oh, if I'm doing something that I love that I'm good at. If I could make money doing that, that would be just incredible. And I'd be living the dream life.
Right.
And then you start doing it and realize that like maybe you can make some money doing it at first. Like I just think back to when I was getting into like the music industry and like all that type of stuff. And I was making some money doing like shit that I really liked, doing photos and videos for bands, managing some bands and stuff like that. And it was so cool. And I was like, I don't even feel like I'm working. And then came the point where it was like, okay, if I want to get to like a next level where I want to make actually like livable income from what I'm doing, there's a lot more work that goes into it.
Right.
And dude, like I was at that for a decent while and like I got burned out. And that's when I hit the point of like, no, like if you want to really do what you love, you're going to work like every day of your life.
But yeah, what happened? I'm curious because I hit burnout at one point. So what's your story with it?
Yeah, I was probably, I say like involved in the music industry or scene for like maybe a collective 2.5 years, I guess. And it was like small scale stuff, working with just like bands from the area and that type of thing. But like there were tours and things and all that type of, I saw a lot of the country like from the window of a Suburban. And so there was one point where I was doing the business and I was working mainly with bands, doing photos and videos like that. Those were most of my projects. And I was also managing 3 bands, and managing in the sense of like, hey, whatever I can possibly do to get you guys better gigs and better opportunities, I'm going to try and figure it out and do it. Yeah. And when there's not a lot of money involved, like that burns you out. So I was like, my one buddy, I don't know if he's watching right now or not, but I was involved with his one project, and it was super talented group of dudes. They took off quick. Within like the first year, they were playing a couple dates on like the final Warped Tour ever and everything. Right. And it was so sick. But even with all that awesome stuff going on, like a lot of people see that and think that's like success. But then behind the scenes, it's like, yeah, there's not a lot of like revenue getting generated right now. So it's still like you're doing cool stuff, but you're like burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah,
And it hit me one night. It all collapsed. And I was like, I gotta stop. This is killing me right now.
yeah, dude, it's real.
But tell me, so you've experienced it too. Then I'm sure you've been at this for a while now. So like, what was that like for you, dude?
So
and how did you? More importantly, like, how did you get over it?
Best thing that can ever happen to anyone, in the worst possible way, because it sucks. But nothing.
But it gives you such clarity, dude.
Nothing terrified me more or motivated me more to never work for anyone again in my life. Because I hit this point, I was doing...
You told me this.
Yeah, I was doing 70, 80 hours a week. I was working in the automotive industry. I was at a Toyota dealership at the time. I went through everything. They wanted me to be like a GM in time. And I just was like, dude, no amount of money. My salary was literally going to like triple in the next 2 to 3 years. 2 years it would probably triple. And it was going to double in a month. And I'm like, dude, no amount of money is worth this. I couldn't like work out. I couldn't talk to my friends. I avoided anything social just because I didn't want to see other people like having fun. I remember I had to tell like, I was in charge of our whole e-commerce department at one point. So I had to tell like a 70-year-old he couldn't go to like his grandson's recital. And like that destroyed me. But like, I couldn't do anything about it. It was just like, dude, if you can't find someone to cover, like I can't be here. I can't cover it because I have to be here. So just all that where I just said, dude, I'm so done. And I don't care what it is. I'm going to figure it out. And it took 8 months of like nonstop action. I had all this money saved. I blew through it in 6 months. Not blew through. I wasn't like going out and partying. And, like, probably like for like a month, I was just like, I'm the sweetest man ever. You know,
like, after having to like do that type of crap you were doing, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't need a job. I don't need any of this. I'm just gonna be an entrepreneur and start a virtual reality company. Like fuck everyone. And then like 3 or 4 months later, I'm like, ooh, I'm out of money. It's like, can someone please give me $100?
Help me, I'm poor.
Yeah, but from that, it was just my fuel to figure it out and to never ever look back. And like the good thing is I did that at the time. I was looking at like opportunity costs. What's for me to stay another couple of years means another couple of years not going in another direction. And because I was able to get going in that other direction, now with this going on, it's just a different game, man. And like I have employees, I have people to pay, and like sure, that stress is definitely there. But I've also built it like overhead's low. We use co-working spots. We I don't buy a lot of equipment. We rent it when we need it. I hire other people to do shoots when I need it, and then we've been shifting a lot more digitally too, just to help people online. So at least there's parts that are still functioning. But also, if anyone has any questions, feel free to jump in.
Yeah. If anybody is hearing this type of stuff, and because I think it notifies both our followers that like we're on here. So if anybody's got questions about this type of stuff, or just in general, whether it's like how to positively get through this, or if it's like how do I do business, how do I shift it digitally, feel free to drop it here. Because
yeah, I mean, and I can even answer some of that. Once again, there's not a black and white answer. Like when I settled into video and marketing, I was like, all right, for the next 7 to 10 years, this is my jam. I'm just going to become the best marketer in the world. And knowing that means I can go into any industry, any company, whatever it is. I can start a new company, find one product and they don't know how to do it, and blow it up. I just know that's like what I love. But once again, it took not only that 8 months after that job, but how I was working for 4 or 5 years before that. And like I did everything: sales, e-commerce, finance, accounting. Like I literally did every job under the sun, customer service. And I realized like marketing is my favorite. Videos are our most powerful tool right now. Yeah. I can't wait for like VR and AR. That technology just advanced 5 years overnight, dude, with all this going on. Tech just advanced like 5 years. That's the biggest thing. And I don't think, not to be like, a lot of things job wise are not going to come back because they're going to realize how automation can save them. Yeah. Straight up. That's where I'm like, you guys, people are emailing me their resumes. It's like, dude, I don't want to hire people. I can make a bot to do exactly that.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I'm empathetic enough to see both sides of that. But as someone who, like, you know, is a business owner, why wouldn't you want to lean into that, like, automation type of work?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, if you can just set up once, like a bot to, you know, run a whole messenger campaign or something to even like automate your whole like onboarding process, which to some people watching that might sound boring as shit, but that's like,
oh, dude,
that's the exciting stuff, man.
that
like,
gets me going.
I know. it's like, why wouldn't I want to do that and lean into it? You know, it's and I think that's like the most important thing for people to realize too. Like, with all this going on right now, it's like there's a lot of pressure just from all directions, but like, if you can take that and like turn it into a diamond, then that means like coming out of the other side of this, noticing what things are changing right now and being prepared to like build the momentum and run with that. You know,
Yeah.
like people are gonna, like, the people who still are in a human required position following this, there's gonna be a lot more working from home offered, I have no doubt. Or people are going to demand it because it's possible now. Like, so many places are seeing like that type of stuff.
And really, you know, coming from being employed to employing people, I mean, the reality is most people work maybe 4 hours out of like an 8 or 9 hour day, you know? So working from home, they're still going to get the same amount done. Obviously, I like even being able to see everything going on too, but that's where you have to hire the right people that are just in it to win it no matter what, you know, and that believe in the bigger mission about what you're doing. So I think that is definitely something. And I think just be aware of it, pay attention to it. And, you know, it's like nothing changes overnight. Everything takes time. But start thinking that way, just so even if in 6 months or whatever, shit changes, I don't know, you know, you're in a better position then than you would be if you hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
And that's even like everything, it's just little baby steps, day by day by day. Even if it like start just having 0 some days. And what that means is, I don't care if you're the most hungover person in the world, you're sick, don't feel like doing anything, watch one YouTube video for 5 minutes on that subject that you're trying to learn. Never, ever let a day go past. This is one thing I said once I quit my last job. I said, I will never let a day go past where I do nothing. And there's been days where I literally haven't got out of bed. I've Uber Eats every single meal, but I've watched, you know, 20, 30 minutes of people on YouTube that I respect and I value their opinions, and it's a good way to get that info. And it's like, all right, I did something, you know?
It keeps the momentum going, dude.
You have to.
It's something. Yeah. You're not totally stopping.
Right. You gotta lay brick by brick, not prefabricated walls.
That's right.
You'll get to the prefab walls pot. That's where you hire people. And now
that was elegant, man.
Way quick. That was good. I like that.
Well, dude, that's awesome. Tell me, because we've got a call to hop on right now. Tell me, what's the first thing that like of some kind of substance that you're gonna do after this stuff loosens up or lifts and we're able to like live whatever the new normal is?
Some sort of substance.
No. not what substance are you gonna do?
I think my mom's watching right now. So Mom,
something.
I promise I don't do drugs.
Something of substance. Jesus. Maybe that is.
Dude,
I don't know.
I'm dying for the beach to be open again. That's really been yep, there she is. I'm dying for the beach to open. Like, you know, I ride my bike like on the beach, I paddleboard, all that stuff. It's been very frustrating. Like, that's my escape, if you will. That's my sanity. Even just going to like dive off the beach or something. So I even just walking on the beach, it's like, you can't do that right now. So
yeah,
I'm really excited for that. And then even just like with my family and stuff, like, it's weird. Like, I'll see my mom, but we are like 10 feet apart. And even like my grandma's in a nursing home. They did a parade today. Like, just those little things that are, you know, the stuff you take for granted that you don't really think about, that, yeah, just to get back, like, even with my friends, you know, it's like, hey, let's get together and do something. It's like, what do we do? Like, I'm kind of tired of getting drunk on Zoom, and then we hang up, and it's like, well, now I'm just like drunk by myself. What do I do?
But it's like the weirdest transition of like, at least if you're doing it in person, you're like,
Dude.
all right, maybe we're all just gonna like get food or something.
Right.
Like,
It goes from like, yo, this is great, and then it's like, whoa, very quiet.
I'm home. There's nothing going on. This sucks. I like it. I like it. Andrew, is that Andrew Taylor here? Oh my God. I like your shirt too, man. Honcho feels that. Yeah. Yeah. Honcho, that's my buddy Tyler, who we've had quite a few of those so far, drunk Zoom calls where you end in the yard. So yeah, dude, I think a lot of people are in that same boat right now.
Yeah. I'm excited for like others to get back to their lives. I don't have kids. I don't, you know, like,
yeah,
I feel for those people because, dude, I don't even know. Like,
yeah, dude, that's one thing I've been like very aware of how, I guess, fortunate I am in all this. Because like, you know, I'm not in the city where like there's a mass clumping of all this going on. I've got a yard. I've got like, you know, I'll never have this little responsibility ever again, but there's people that are like on the opposite end of it. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel for those people, and that's part of like my strategy, and I'm sure yours too, with like content like this. Just, dude, keeping things fresh, lighthearted, teaching people what I've learned that has taken years to learn, and you know, just to try to help them figure it out. Because the other thing is, there's so much noise right now. There is so much noise, and everyone's telling you to do this, or this is right, or this isn't right. And like, I've learned to block it out. I've learned that it's just really bad, and I've learned that most of the answers are already here, and I already know what to do. I just lack the confidence in myself. So sometimes I just have to like push through, stop, think about what I need to do, instead of being like, oh, Gary Vaynerchuk says post 72 pieces of content a day. All eyeballs are online. And then I'm like going, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Then it's pushing you out of your own groove that you're in already. Right. And it's like, yo, I just need to like keep pushing through what I'm in right now. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's it, man. However I can help, if anyone's watching and has questions or whatever, let me know.
Ceebz is a great dude, super smart, and taking things digital right now. So if there is anybody catching this that needs that, shoot him a DM, hit him with a follow, and
slide in those DMs.
Dude, thank you for hopping on. I mean, obviously I see you on the weekly calls, and I'll see you in like a minute, but it's always good having the face-to-face right here. So
yeah,
you still there? There we go. But yeah, dude, well, cheers to you, and anybody that's watching, thank you for staying tuned, and we got another one coming at you on Monday. So enjoy the weekend, stay sane, try and be productive.
Can't drink.
And yeah, exactly. See you guys.
Deuces.